Welcome back, boys and girls, to episode 34 of the Nerd Chills podcast. This is Adam Diaz, and with me, as per usual, is CJ. How are you doing, CJ?
Doing good. I'm sick, so if you hear any sniffles or coughs and Adam doesn't catch them in the editing, I'm sorry, but there's nothing I can do about it. It's human.
It is human. You're gross. You disgust us, but that's okay. Sitting in the third chair, again, as per usual, is Charlie. Welcome back, Charlie.
Hello. Also, I have to say, if CJ wants you to edit out like every cough, he's going to need to make his own notes.
That's true. And then lastly, sitting in the fourth chair, welcome back after a little hiatus. She transformed back into her human self and is no longer a cat. Is Robin Grace. Welcome back, Robin.
Oh, hello.
You just had this puzzled look on your face, revealing that you did not listen to the previous episodes where Aria sat in your spot.
Yeah, I just remembered that.
I just love the look on your face, like you were prepared to get harassed, so you were like expecting him to say something
Much
different.
worse.
Yeah,
Yes.
and then you got like a smile on your face when he said cat.
Yeah.
Now, everyone gets one. So that was your one for the show. I want to apologize to everyone for episode 33. I want to say that for editing, episode 22 was a nightmare, and episode 33 was a nightmare. So palindrome episodes fucking suck. We had a lot of issues when it came to the audio of episode 33. So it was a ton of work, and then finally it all got finished, uploaded to Libsyn, uploaded perfectly, and for some reason during distribution it only distributed 12 minutes of the episode. We had a bunch of people reach out and let us know that this was the issue. I got it fixed per Libsyn, which is our hosting site. They told me, hey, do this, and this. It'll force a re-download for all of your listeners. Everything will be fine. Re-download never happened for our Android listeners, including myself. But if you want to listen to it, you can go to nerdchills.net. If you go to the podcast section, I put every episode up there except for episode 32. That link is currently broken. I'll go ahead and get that fixed. But you can go and listen to the lost episode 33, if you were not able to listen to it. But thank you to everyone who reached out to us to let us know.
But 32 is the best one.
I know, it's just so awesome. What was 32?
I don't even know.
It was the co-op gaming episode.
What is this one?
This is 34.
Yeah, it was co-op. That was a good one.
That was actually a really good episode.
Yeah,
so,
fuck.
But everyone downloaded that one. That was one of our highest downloaded episodes ever, in fact.
Yay.
So, this is episode 34. The main topic for this episode is going to be fall releases and what we're excited to see. We're all going to give you our top 3 picks, which we're pretty excited for. And we were going to do Gamescom, but Gamescom kind of fucking sucked this year.
A little meh.
So, it was a little meh, a little bleh, a little meh.
Yeah.
So
is there anything lower than meh? Like meh?
I think you take off the M, and then it's just even worse. So
if you take off the E, is it just...
yeah, that's really good for audio, for our podcast listeners. That said, we're just going to do our what we've been playing, what we've been watching as per usual. Robin, since you're gracing us with your presence.
Oh, I see what you did there.
She got it. What have you been watching lately? No. What have you been playing? We'll go with playing.
I played like 5 minutes of Sea of Thieves.
Sea of Thieves, as we call it.
And then I've been playing Meshy Quest, the cell phone game.
So I posted a picture of Meshy Quest on my Facebook and other social media. Describe what Meshy Quest is for our audience.
It's like if you've ever played Cake Mania or
I'm listening.
Cooking Mama or something.
Describe that
You,
gameplay,
like,
because most of them probably have.
You just, like, people come in and they have orders and you gotta put the food orders together. But, like, in Meshy Quest, you can choose to do... You can open, like, different restaurants. So I started off with a sushi restaurant and then I opened a... like a...
I'm writing this down.
hibachi type restaurant. And then I just opened another restaurant, I think.
And it's Meshy, M-E-S-H-I.
Quest.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's by Square Enix, though.
She told me about it. I
Square
downloaded
Enix?
it. And it is indeed really fucking fun.
It's addicting.
So
I love Cake Mania.
I went upstairs and I grabbed my stylus pen so that I could put it together a little bit easier. So
It's like a guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
Was it guilty? I wasn't even guilty about it. I was just super happy.
I mean, Cake Mania to me is like kind of, it's like a Facebook game. I played it on the
okay.
DS, but still,
Yeah.
that's definitely a guilty pleasure. This one sounds more legit.
It's by Square Enix. It's real.
Any other games that you've been playing this past week? No? I don't think so.
No.
You took a break from Overwatch for a little while, so
Yeah.
Wow.
it's a good thing.
School's stressing me out, man.
So you haven't even started yet, so
I know, it's the planning.
let's hope it's
freaking
not too
me out.
stressful. Charlie, what have you been playing this past week?
Well, I'm still playing Yonder. I've gotten a little bit further in that, but I took a big break from Yonder to play Ghost Recon, and I have a really, really long story about that, but I'll get back to it. I played a spell building game. It's a card game called Epic Spell Wars of the Battle Wizards.
Wow.
Oh my
That's
god.
the full name of that game down there. And that was super fun.
We're going to play that later tonight.
And then I got to play a little bit of the demo for Pokken. I'm still really sad that there's only 3 characters, and they're not even great characters. It's Pikachu, Charizard, and Imperium. Is that big,
The lantern-looking one?
No, it's the big penguin-looking one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's his name. Because he's like an Imperial Penguin.
Yeah, so I was really disappointed with the fact that it's only 3 characters, but it's still fun. I'm looking forward to picking it up.
You only get like 15 battles. You only get 15 matches after the tutorial.
Use them wisely.
I was super happy I didn't skip the tutorial, which I normally do.
I did.
I didn't skip it, and it's really in-depth, and it teaches you a bunch of shit. So it's like a really long level where you get to play around. And then when I got to the main screen, it's like 15 battles. I'm like, well, that would have been fucking bad if I wouldn't have done it, because that would have been so much less gameplay.
I was just like, I've already played this. I mash buttons. Fine. But yeah, so to rant a little bit, Ghost Recon, it took me and my friend. Maybe we just picked the wrong day.
Is this Wildlands you're talking about?
Yeah, Wildlands. Okay. We picked it up. It was only $35, so I decided we would start playing it because him and I are always trying to play co-op games, and I've heard really good things about it, and we do really like it. It's super fun. The open world portion of it has pretty much like a GTA feel to it. And the missions are fun so far, although they're really difficult at times. But getting it to function was a chore. Of course, I'm talking about my Xbox.
Oh, God.
So my friend had an issue where it kept telling us he was offline. It said he was literally online, and he could see me get on and off, and he could see... Shut up. He could see all of his friends getting online, and I could see his messages. But when I went to his actual profile, it was like, online an hour ago watching Netflix. And we spent like an hour and a half trying to get that to work.
What was the problem?
He ended up changing it from... So we couldn't really diagnose the problem until we got to the point where it would put him in our party, or in my party, but it wouldn't let him talk. And it said, like, on his screen, it said something along the lines of, your Xbox Live settings will not let you connect, or will not let you chat in a party. And the funny part is when he would go to privacy settings, it would be like, not available right now. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? So I Googled that specific phrase, and I found like a 5-step process, like, it could be this, or it could be that, or it could be this. And the third one on their list was the thing he had to change. And he actually had to change it from the quick startup to energy saving, because it wasn't like resetting itself. He had reset it like 5 times. But
he wasn't hard resetting it all the way.
Oh, no, he did. Like, he unplugged it and everything, but changing that setting allowed it to work correctly. But
that is bizarre.
It was... so annoying. And by the time we got to it, he was like, so it's 8 o'clock now. I think maybe we'll play another day. So literally the first day was just us getting it to function.
That is pathetic and super annoying. I don't understand how that game is doing so well. But then again, most people are probably playing on PS4.
Oh, no. It was an Xbox Live issue. It was not a Ghost Recon issue.
That is bizarre. I've only ever had that issue with people being in appear offline mode. And then when they go back to appearing online mode, it won't show them. But I've always been able to just hard reset my Xbox, and that took care of it. It's really bizarre that that's a feature that has nothing to do with it that needed to be changed.
It was just one of these things. I was like, I'm going to tell Adam and Robin this story, and they're never going to believe me, because I always do this, where I tell these crazy stories about these big issues I have with Xbox, and they're just like, we never have a problem like this.
It's okay. We don't believe you about anything.
Yeah.
Not really. I do believe you that happened, but I'm going to blame Ghost Recon for this.
It was
Me too.
Ghost Recon. Ghost Recon worked perfectly fine, and it's super fun.
I will punch Tom Clancy in the face the next time I see him.
You can,
He'll punch you back with all his money.
You can fly helicopter. I think she's dead.
Oh,
Tom
shit.
Clancy's dead.
I think Tom Clancy died, like, last year.
Oh, shit.
Bummer. R.I.P.
You would have never had these problems connecting if it was scalebound.
Right? Yeah, because it doesn't exist, so you don't have to worry about it.
Anyways, CJ, what have you been playing?
Well, mine comes with a little bit of a story, because...
Is this the thing that you messaged earlier in the group chat?
Yeah. I bought an item that... I don't know... I'm not friends with it yet, Kind of like how I guess me and Charlie aren't friends yet, but we're getting there. It sits in the corner of my room, plugged in, and I'm still scared of it. But as Adam pointed out earlier, what he heard in the background was a PlayStation 4. So, I don't know.
I already had a PS4.
No, I sold it a long time ago when I didn't fucking touch it.
So what made you pick it back up?
To play the Call of Duty beta with some friends. So, considering I have nothing to play on my Xbox, I'm going to ask the PlayStation 4 professional on what game I should play over the course of this next week.
So, I guess my question is, what do you like? Because, I mean, I know what I would say, but I don't know that you'll like the games that I would suggest. Like, obviously, I would suggest Horizon. That game is fire, as my third key would say.
Dope as fuck, as the kids say. Thick with 2 C's.
But I don't know if you're into, like,
Is that a new
storyline-based games. I know you mostly play multiplayer.
I do play a lot of multiplayer, but I don't mind games with a good story. So, if it's got that, then I'm good to go. But if it's just something that's kind of boring that just dredges on, that has a couple good moments, I would prefer to stay away from those.
I would absolutely say Horizon. Like, I never have time to play games, and I have made it almost halfway through that game, and that is an astonishing feat. Like, that never happens. So that would be my suggestion. Obviously, if you can pick up a pre-owned one, you just throw it back at the store if you don't like it.
Yeah.
And just shout, like, from whence it came, and throw it at the door.
The money automatically returns to your account.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
they just put it in your bank. But yeah, that would be my top one. Otherwise, Infamous Second Son. I don't know if you played the previous ones. Even if you haven't, Infamous Second Son is like my first PS4 title, and I love that game.
Okay. I will
say, when it comes to Horizon, it was really fun installing it onto my PlayStation 4. It was a blast.
Yeah.
I hear there's more after that. I haven't gotten to it quite yet, but I'll get there one day.
Oh my God, CJ's gonna have played more of it than you soon.
It's true.
Oh my God.
Kind of scary, but I'm okay with that.
I'm
But,
trying to
so,
think of
on
any
this
other-
lovely new machine, which the controller drives me batshit fucking crazy, I've had fun playing the Call of Duty beta. It's a good game, and I haven't messed around with it too much. I just learned how to turn it off, so I just remembered, I guess. I mean, I like used mine that I bought for like an hour, so I'm still relearning this thing. And when I bought a pre-owned one, and it just so happened that the pre-owned one was mislabeled, and it's the Star Wars one, so that's kind of cool.
That is awesome. That's the same one I have.
Oh, well, look at that. It's like fate.
Twinsies.
Twinsies. Should make out.
Other than that, last night... No, don't make out. I'm sick. You don't want
No,
this.
I'll risk it.
I started playing Madden 18 last night. They've made some really good improvements so far from what I've seen on like the defensive side of the game. Defense has always been the most boring part of Madden, so they've kind of spiced it up with some better user controls, I guess. And the graphics on it look really good because it's all running on the Unreal Engine, so it looks... There's not as much as that like clipping, so you don't see the players like folding into each other and all sorts of weird janky stuff that normally happens in Madden games. So
Have you played the storyline yet?
I have not. I had a friend who played it and he told me not to do it because it's a waste of time. So you know how Madden does like you get to pick a play, like you can make your own player and you just play that position?
Yeah.
All it is, the story mode is, it's about an hour long of you making choices.
So it's like a Telltale game.
Yeah. And then it just throws you into a regular franchise career mode. That's it. It really has nothing to do with what's going to happen after you waste an hour.
That's
And
so fucking dumb. They touted that mode so much.
Yeah, they made
yeah.
it seem like this was the replacement for NCAA transferring into your Madden. That's so dumb.
No,
I would
not at
much
all.
rather play NCAA.
And it's super fucked up and it's super dark. Like, you're the best player in high school, then right as you go to college and you're doing really good, and then right before you're about to get drafted, your parents die and it gets all fucked up.
Ugh, I hate that.
So then, like, you go to pick like what's your favorite team and what would be the dream team that drafted you, and then your best friend in the story gets drafted to that team's rivalry team, and then you have to pick if you want to go to your favorite team or go with the team with your friend. And then you pick the team that you want to go to, whether it be with your friend or the team, like your favorite team. And then you end up going undrafted anyway, and you get signed, and then Dan Marino picks you up. So technically you're signed to the Dolphins. It's weird. I don't know.
That sounds terrible, and I'm glad you explained it, so now I don't have to fucking worry about it.
Yeah, biggest waste of an hour ever. Like, that was what I was most excited to do when I first started, and I was super upset by it.
Well,
I think they need to give up on any kind of story mode in, like, you remember Spike Lee presents NBA 2K, what was it, 14? I don't know why they try and do this. I don't even think this is something that people want.
It's not. I've never talked to someone who's like, dude, I only get this with the story mode. Like, ever. I've never even really talked to people who buy it and even want the story mode. So that's bizarre. But
I don't know. It really fell on their face, and I don't think they'll do it again next year. They might as well just do like what NBA does and do like an actual, like, because NBA 2K, of course it's 2K. I mean, the last time 2K did a football game was probably one of the best ever. They actually have an entire, your My Player mode has stuff that goes on throughout the entire time, and it changes depending on like how good you play, how bad you play, which team you're on. So like it has more dynamic to it, whereas this was just an hour of making choices and then back to your regular scheduled broadcast.
It's lame. I don't even understand why they hyped that mode up at all.
No clue.
I know.
Like, putting advertising behind it is just a waste of time. They should have just included it and been like, oh, here's a cool way to waste an hour of your time. And people would have still hated it. So
Here's like a cool intro for your My Career mode.
Right on. Anything else you've been playing, bro?
No, that is it.
Cool. As for myself, played a little Darwin Project, and I'm terrible at it. Love it. Terrible at it. And Sea of Thieves, which was really fun. I made a joke. It's like, I work for Tesla, I played Sea of Thieves, and I played Darwin Project today. Basically, my entire life is an NDA. And the Darwin Project people liked it, so I'm like, oh my god, I'm famous now. But I did enjoy doing Sea of Thieves. It was really fun. There's more people in this one, and people were more peaceful than the last phase of Alpha. I'll say that. There's not a whole lot I can get into because of the NDA, but like, every ship I went past in the first time I played it, all wanted to kill each other. And this time, every time I went past a ship, they all wanted to avoid each other to finish up storyline and shit like that. So it was pretty fun. Aside from that, I really didn't play a whole lot. I did play the Pokken, whatever you call it, Pokken DX demo through the tutorial. Then I saw how many fights I had, and I was like, I'm going to save these just for a little while because Robin wasn't available to play at the time, and I definitely wanted to see if we could do two-player mode. So she looks like she's giving me this face like she's taking a mugshot right now. It's terrifying. But that's everything I've been playing. I really haven't played a whole lot. I keep staring at my laptop, telling myself I'm going to play Rocket League, and then I wind up not doing it. Aside from that, what I've been watching Korean dramas. In the background, I haven't actually been reading the subtitles, so I think I've learned Korean. I have realized that they all yell at all times, like a Sam Jackson movie, which is just bizarre. I don't understand why everyone's always angry. It's like they're happy, they're yelling, they're angry, they're yelling, they're crying, they're yelling. So, that's about it, really. Haven't watched anything else except for Game of Thrones. Season finale is tomorrow, which will be yesterday by the time you guys listen to this.
We watched the 21 Jump Street movies finally.
We did. We watched 21 and 22 Jump Street. They were okay. I actually like 22 Jump Street better than 21 Jump Street. And, we were told, like, everything I say I haven't seen turns into this, what? You haven't seen that yet? And I'm so sick of hearing it, so I'm just starting to watch the stuff with the people who say that to me. And I actually thought of a game segment. Me and Robin talked about it a little bit for the show, mainly for the website, where if we find games that we've played that one of the other people that are on the show have not played, we have them play it, but we prefer like short games like Journey or something like that. And then we can record our reactions to playing the game and also record someone talking about like, they're going to love this part. And then we'll cut in like clips of that person actually playing that part. I have particular games in mind that I want Robin to play that are really sad. Because I want to see her reaction, so I can be like, she's going to cry at this part, just so she can be like, oh no! When she gets to that part. Sad? I'm not telling you, because then you'll avoid them. So, but it'll be fun. I want to call out, like, you haven't played that yet. No timeline on that, so we'll see, but kind of excited for it.
I just imagine me, like, with clips of, like, oh, he's going to love that part, and then, like, you not playing it. It's just an empty chair.
Right. I was like, if anyone quits, they get to a certain point and they quit, they can say, like, during the time, like, this is just fucking stupid, I'm done. And then have the other person, like, talking about how much fun it'll be. Then it'll go back to, like, the end screen. And it's just like, that's exactly where they left it. So, that would be funny. Going backwards, CJ, what have you been watching, bro? Anything?
Yeah, I've actually been watching Game of Thrones a whole bunch.
Nice.
I'm trying to get caught back up. I'm finally just gonna go ahead, get caught back up, and try to finish it when everyone else does, and stop being a baby when it comes to shows ending that I like, and so I avoid watching them because that gets you nowhere in life.
That's true.
So I'm just finished season 5. I'm about to start season 6 probably later tonight. There's a lot of stuff happens at the end of season 5. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it does. Spoiler alert: Jon Snow dies, gets stabbed to death by his
does.
own men.
That's
Super
crazy.
fucked up.
Ollie does the finishing blow too.
Ollie's a little fucking prick. I hate that kid.
Oh man, I
That
forgot
kid's
about Ollie.
terrible.
Yeah.
So he should have sent that dude to. He should have agreed with Stannis and sent that one dude off to that other castle because that
To
probably
Eastwatch
never
West.
happened.
Yep.
So, pretty crazy. And then I think I don't really know. I haven't tried to theorize too much of what's going to happen because I do know some things. I know what's going to happen in the future, but watching Cersei do that walk of shame was pretty awesome, though.
Shame.
I was gonna say literally a walk of shame.
Right.
So that's really all I've been watching.
Right on. Keep going backward order. Charlie, what have you been watching?
Well, I've actually been watching Game of Thrones as well. I
Oh
watched
my god!
the newest ones, and then I'm going back through with somebody else so we can watch the whole series because I think I didn't catch quite all of it because I watched it with you guys, but it was kind of intermittent.
In and out for the first season or so.
Yeah, the first few seasons you guys watched, I think I was just kind of semi-attached to it, and then by the end of it, we were only watch it together. So I'm kind of catching things. It's really weird to watch the original seasons because you forget about so many things that happened.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm doing that, and then I've been catching up on John Oliver because I got HBO now, so we could watch the older episodes of Game of Thrones. So I've been watching the whole year worth of John Oliver.
That's awesome. I like to do that, especially with John Oliver because he's fucking hilarious.
I know.
And he only does weekly news, so you're like, oh, I remember this week. So that's fun.
Although every week it's something horrible happened in the administration. So I'm like, that's just going to continue.
Right. This is going to
It's
keep
gonna be
going for
every
a while.
week. Hopefully soon they'll be able to get used to it and then just start talking about different things again.
Right. Settle in, start talking about other news. Be nice. Robin, what have you been watching besides the stuff I already mentioned?
I've just been watching Korean drama and stupid Hallmark movies.
What Hallmark movies have you been watching?
Just, yesterday, I watched, this Christmas one in the middle of August. And then we watched October Kiss, which was really good because it was, a romance story, built around Halloween. And no one ever celebrates Halloween like that.
Did you literally look up, Hallmark movies set around holidays?
No.
That's just, I
That's
think,
just
what
Hallmark
the channel is. Yeah.
channel.
It's kind
I
of
hate that channel.
the next one's going to be 4th of July romance.
Oh
I
my
can't. I was
God.
trying to think of something that started with a F, but I couldn't think of something.
I think you
Maybe
nailed
it'll be 4th of July bromance where two bros fall in love.
it.
That would
Oh.
be super romantic. Equal opportunity. Just saying.
This
No,
isn't
dude,
Bravo.
Hallmark Channel literally posted we're looking for new stories, but
Since we do the same 3 stories over
but
and over.
we want only it has to be male female. It must be
Really?
yeah.
Wow.
So they don't want
Wow.
none of that shit.
No fags
Fucked
allowed on
up.
Hallmark Channel, apparently.
Yep.
That's fucked
It's a
up.
Christian
Jesus
channel.
Christ.
Wow, fuck them.
They're
You're
not
allowed to
getting
watch
burned
that
alive
anymore.
for that?
I'm
what?
changing. I'm fucking changing our cable plan tomorrow. I
Wow,
swear.
that's awful. I
Yeah,
didn't
it's
realize
awful.
Yeah, that's messed up.
That. They're only hetero love.
Must be wholesome and bullshitty.
And bullshitty, exactly.
You should just start pitching them really long ideas that are all
They just are such great stories that it
lesbian and
ends with the person being gay.
yeah, where you don't
fucking-
where you don't realize until halfway through, or you just a really long pitch that's really great, and then at the end you're and she was transgender. Yeah, that would be my suggestion.
Right on. Good stuff.
Yeah.
So moving on to the big 3 news. Well, we actually have a ton of Microsoft news this week. Little bit of Sony, little bit of Nintendo. By the way, fuck you, Nintendo. I can't wait to say that. And then a bunch of additional news. So we'll try and get through this stuff as fast as possible. But CJ, go ahead and power through some of this Microsoft news.
All right, so the first one, everyone press F to pay your respects, but Microsoft has reportedly stopped selling the original Xbox One console, which means
That's good,
from here
'cause
on out, it'll just be Xbox One S and the Xbox One X. So
I don't know what took them so
though.
long on
I was
this.
gonna say that's good because people quit buying it, so they should definitely quit selling them and making them.
It's a waste of time to send that out when there's a cheaper version that runs faster, has just as much as far as storage and is sleeker and smaller. So that makes sense to me.
Yep. I think this report's just a little behind. I feel like they've probably been stopped for a while now. They're just finally maybe out of stock or getting really, really close to out of stock, maybe. So,
It took too long.
but it was definitely its time.
It probably just was like they stopped production a long time ago, but no one cared to ask about it
Yeah.
until now.
No one noticed,
Yeah.
I would guess. They stopped production on it, and
That's
they
what I would say.
shipped
No
it
one
to
noticed
Xbox One
until they
X or
finally.
something like that.
So, and then let's see. We'll kind of go from. We'll get to the best news last. So, free games with gold for the month of September were announced. The Xbox One games from August 16th through September 15th. So, I think this is the last part of August. I don't know. Kind of extends in pretty late though to September. Is Trials Fusion. So that's a really fun game. That was one that released pretty close to the original release of the Xbox One.
And you can go download that right now because it's past August 16th.
It is past August 16th and before the 15th of September. And then there's Forza Motorsports 5 Game of the Year Edition. So that,
Launch
I would
title for Xbox One X.
yeah, I would assume that's going to have all the cars, so you can kind of pass all the DLC with that too. That's September 1st through the 30th, so the entire month. And then there's Oxenfree, which I don't know too much about.
It's like a dialogue-driven indie game. I've heard really, really good things on Oxenfree. I actually bought Oxenfree and haven't played it yet, so...
Gotcha. Sounds like an Adam thing to do.
Is it like Life is Strange?
Well, it's
style?
free from the 16th of September to October 15th. So feel free to go pick it up and tell us how it is. So maybe Adam will play it for once.
It's like atmospherical, so I hear it's more like Firewatch.
Oh,
Where
okay.
it's like storytelling through the dialogue itself. But yeah, I've heard really good things on it.
Gotcha. Cool. And then the Xbox 360 titles, which both of these are also backwards compatible titles, so go download them if you want more games to play. Hydro Thunder Hurricane, which is basically like a water racer with like souped up jet skis and stuff like that.
Wave Runner.
Yeah, and then there is Battlefield 3, which is a classic.
I fucking love Battlefield 3 to death.
So that's available through the other one's the 1st through the 15th. And Battlefield 3 is the 16th to the 30th, so I'll probably definitely be downloading that because you can also play it backwards compatible. Maybe me and Adam will go in a game and experience what it was to get his face kicked in by me a bunch of times.
I am amazing at Battlefield 3, but I only played on PC, so...
Yeah. So you'll have that crutch to always lean on. It's not PC, bro.
Hate your face.
Let's see. And then we have some news straight from Xbox Wire, which is like Xbox's own little
News site.
news site, magazine article that they do. Thanking its fans for the Xbox One X release or pre-order release. It's the fastest selling Xbox pre-order of all time now. So Sunday night at Gamescom, they unveiled the Xbox One X. And then a couple hours later, it finally went live. And I'm not sure when exactly it said they sold out. I know most of it was all done by the end of that night. My buddy tried to go on and get one from Amazon maybe 3 or 4 hours after I had gotten mine, which was around 4 o'clock, and he didn't get one. So Amazon ran out really quick for sure.
Wow.
I know Best Buy ran out the following morning after, because my friend... It's funny, everyone that I know that said they weren't going to get one, they're like, whatever, like, I don't need it, all went out and pre-ordered one. And no one pre-ordered one on Amazon. I pre-ordered mine on Amazon, and now, like you said, it's sold out. But I was talking to one of my friends back in Chicago, and he was telling me, like, yeah, I said I didn't want one, then I saw all the games, and I was thinking about how I have a 4K TV now, and then he went out and Best Buy gave him one, then he told his buddy that there were still some available, so that guy went out. By the time he got there, their allocation was done. So... it's fucking shocking to me. It's like everyone I know has the same story. It's like, I pre-ordered it. Don't know why, but I pre-ordered it.
Yeah, I feel like it's a little bit of the lack of hardware, maybe? Or, I don't know. Maybe they just did a really, really good job of making it sound, like, really different.
I think for me and most of the people I talk to, that what we all have in common is we don't have a slim model. We have one of the, if not the original... release day model. Like, I have the upgraded version because it is a 1 terabyte hard drive, because it's the Halo 4 version, Halo 5, the Halo 5 version. But I don't have a slim, so it is definitely a giant upgrade for me. And then my friend who ran out and actually got one from Best Buy, he has a day 1 edition. And he's like, I don't really care. It's not like I'm ever going to sell this on eBay and get a lot of money for it. But it's been like 4 years. It's starting to go out on him. And he's like, I do want to replace it. And it just makes more sense for me to wait until November 7th.
Why spend $250 when I could spend $500? I mean, that's just
Exactly.
math.
Math is dumb. That's all I know.
Let's see. And then our last bit of news
For Microsoft.
is for Microsoft, is still on the Xbox One X. So Windows Central came out with an article that the title is just Xbox One X roars past PlayStation 4 Pro on Amazon's 2017 bestsellers list in just a few days. So that's pretty promising. I mean, I know the PS4 Pro wasn't too... I don't know, maybe I wasn't paying attention enough to it, but I also didn't feel like it was as advertised as hard as the Xbox One X has been.
I don't think it was either. It's like X or Scorpio has been in everyone's fucking head since last E3.
Yeah.
And Pro got announced and then released pretty close to, it's like 3 or 4 months it had in its development cycle. What I will say, though, is that 20% of PS4 sales are Pros. So that is kind of cool that the pre-orders for Xbox One X already in a few days have surpassed that of the PS4 Pro. I don't think that means that like Microsoft's going to get itself back into the race simply by releasing the X, but it's definitely a better sign than I expected to see.
It's definitely more people buying it or, like you said, upgrading their Xboxes. So
Yeah. I think that's
as long
the
as
only...
people still keep them together and don't decide to jump ship just yet, and hopefully they can get some more games rolling. I mean, they announced a ton of games, so I can't really blame them, but
They also
I guess
announced
get more-
Crackdown 3 is delayed.
yeah, so get more games coming out, get more games coming out on time and stop delaying them. It could start to look up, but they still definitely have a path ahead of them.
I think the biggest thing is that the people that are getting the X don't strike me as new people at all. Like, it's just all their audience already, people that are upgrading. So I don't think they're getting new people to play their console, which is kind of always been their goal with all these price drops they've done and bundles they've done. They're trying to drag more people in, and really all they're doing is upgrading all the people that already had Xboxes and were buying into the Microsoft model.
And I think it's nice for them from a business perspective that they can do that, but like you're saying, their install base itself doesn't increase, so you're not really going to draw on a third-party developer aside from the fact that it's like, oh, you can develop in 4K.
Yeah.
You know, It's not like, hey, our install base is starting to increase, but I seriously doubt, even if they had an even market share as PS4, anything would really change as far as their third-party install base, except that people might think about becoming an exclusive publisher to Microsoft. But still, I didn't expect that, so it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
We'll kind of see as time goes on, and I'm sure they'll open up a second round of pre-orders at some point. So we'll see how well those do, which every time pre-orders for consoles pretty much always get sold out pretty quick. Just ask about the NES or
we're gonna
SNES
get
Classic.
there. So fucking angry.
I think that I think the biggest thing will be they'll probably do a standard edition, because they'll do a non-Scorpio one, so we'll see how that sells, because they did day one and non-day one. I just hope they do pre-orders for it, because I don't remember whether they did non-day one pre-orders back in the day.
Right on. I think that's everything for Microsoft news. So we'll jump into some Sony stuff really quickly for you guys. Charlie, what do you got for us for Sony?
Well, I have a couple pieces of information. Last week they unveiled some secret thing, and they had like a big release that they were doing, and it ended up being a Gran Turismo themed system. So there's going to be a Gran Turismo Sport themed PS4 launching, I'm assuming, with the game, which is good because they don't have a lot of bundles out. Like, the last bundle they did was Call of Duty, so hopefully that'll be the start to some new bundles with the system. And then the second piece of information, I've never played this game, but some people were super excited.
Shout out to Pirate Dave. He was the one that sent this to me and told me, like, oh my god, I'm crying right now.
They announced that they are remaking Secret of Mana. Secret of Mana. Just one secret, not multiple.
They only have one secret. God.
From what I've read, they're remaking it from the ground up. The difference between a remake and a remaster is when they do a remake, they completely, literally redo the whole game, whereas remaster is just upscaling the graphics a little bit, maybe adding a couple features. So it's a true remake, and they're going to go from the 16-bit graphics to 3D.
That's pretty awesome.
So it looks really cool, and I'm sure if you played that game previously, you're going to be super excited about it. I do wish, I guess I shouldn't say this it's not that they quit making new games, but it does seem like Square Enix is doing a lot of remakes. They just did Final Fantasy 7, or I'm sorry, 12, and they're working on 7 as well. So hopefully they'll be making some new stuff.
It'd be nice to see that whole Kingdom Hearts 3 thing finally come out.
Nah.
Oh, what's that?
No, it's never happening, man.
I'm just, I hear a lot of good things about Secret of Mana. It's nice that it's on my PS4, but hey, it's finally something I might want to play on my Vita and take it with me wherever I want to go. Probably not, but who knows? I have so much in my backlog of games.
I mean, what are you going to carry? Your Vita or your Switch?
Exactly. If I'm going to carry one, I would carry my Switch.
Well, if you have a game to play on the Vita and not the Switch, then that's a thing.
But I always have games to play
They
on
almost
the
have an
Switch.
equal library of titles.
That's sad, because Vita's been out for so goddamn long.
Well, I shouldn't say that. They don't necessarily have an equal...
Nope, you said it. I'm holding you to it. That's
You
fact
said
now.
it.
It's on the internet.
I just feel like... I don't know. If I had to carry around a system right now, I don't know what I would carry because... I mean, I brought my Switch here just for the Pokken thing, but...
Nice.
Exactly.
That's literally it.
Well done, Nintendo. You've tricked us. No, I think I'd rather... I'd rather carry my Switch right now just so I could play all the stuff that's single player on it. But if it was multiplayer stuff that I could take with me right now, I'd still carry my 3DS. There's just not a whole lot on my 3DS I want to play aside from the games that are built into the system on Street Pass, which is still one of my favorite things to do.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to anything on 3DS. It's really sad.
Yeah, that is super sad.
Anywho.
Moving on to sad Nintendo news. Here's a headline from Mashable.com, and I think it is right on the money. It's called "Everyone is Rightfully Mad at Nintendo Today." This article released 4 days ago. Today is the 25th, so this came out on the 21st. This whole thing started at around 1 a.m. Eastern Time when pre-orders for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System Classic, or SNES Classic for the layperson, don't roll your eyes, Charlie, launched at 1 a.m. in the middle of the night. Best Buy and Amazon put their pre-orders up, and they sold out almost right away. It took 30 minutes, even though it was the middle of the night. So normal people like me who woke up had no chance to get it. And then the other three...
It's because you didn't stay woke.
I know. God.
Oh my god.
I need to be woke as fuck. Totally blew it.
By the way, I was rolling
All
my
the
eyes
time.
at the...
SNES?
Yes, not you.
Okay, not my pretension.
No.
That's good, even though it's not good. But then Target, GameStop, and Walmart all released their pre-orders around 1 p.m. and did not go great. What happened from your perspective, Charlie? I don't know.
Well, I don't really know how it worked as far as the announcement goes. I just know that, obviously Nintendo allowed it to start, I'm guessing at the start of that day, and some retailers obviously decided to start that moment. GameStop decided to wait until a little bit later on in the day before they started. They sent out an allocation to each store, and then we could start from that moment. But I still got bitched at that they should have... I had a gentleman who at length wanted to tell me about the fact that they should have set it for the next day so that people had a chance to come and line up. And I still maintain that it's Nintendo's fault for not making enough of them.
It is Nintendo's fault. There's no other way of saying that it's Nintendo's fault.
Yeah, there's not a store at all that had... I think the highest one I heard of was 15.
That's insane. That's ridiculous.
Which is about what we got for the NES, so hopefully that means we'll get more at launch. And I told the guy, I was like, you can line up at launch. You still have that chance to line up, but he didn't like that answer. But yeah, it was kind of a nightmare, and it wasn't the worst, but it definitely went very, very quickly. I think we were done in like 20 minutes. And, yeah, I don't get it.
The pre-orders are already up on Amazon for $250 each, which is fucking crazy.
Let me just
Ridiculous.
say, if you're
How
trying...
much is the actual console itself again?
$90.
Yeah, $89.99.
Or no, I'm sorry, $79.99.
$79.99.
That's fucking crazy.
If you're trying to blame any retailer, I just want to be the person to remind you that they would love to sell you one for every fucking hand. Like, they would love to sell you bundles. How many dozens can I sell you? Like, every person in your family needs one of these. But the fact of the matter is, they can't, and there's never going to be enough, and there's always going to be pissed off people. So it doesn't really matter how they do reserves or when they do reserves. There's never going to be enough, and there's going to be a vast majority of people that are just super angry about it.
What blows my mind about this, and just being mad at a retailer for something they're selling, and you're mad at them like it's somehow their fault that the person who created that product did something you didn't like. It's literally like going to a Walmart, buying a fucking Snickers bar, then going to the customer service complaint department saying, there wasn't enough peanuts in my Snickers. What the fuck did you do? It's like, we don't make the fucking Snickers here, bro.
It's not even that. I get what his point was that he didn't like the way that we did our pre-order process. But my point was just that it's never going to be good for everybody. There's no way to make it fair because the fact that they only gave us 10 reserves is not fair. Like, that's the long and short of it. There's no other option.
There's a bunch of people, they have a bunch of angry tweets in this article. One guy said that he went onto Best Buy's website, put it in his cart, and then it asked him, would you like to turn on the app location? He put no. Would you like to set up a Best Buy Touch ID? He put no. Would you like to sign up? He put no. He put checkout and then said item no longer available.
Yeah.
It's like, I would fucking burn down a Best Buy. My most nearby Best Buy would be Ashes if that happened. Just because it's like, are you fucking serious? The closest I've ever had to that is during May the 4th when GameStop did their, like, we're going to have a bunch of Star Wars items and they're all going to be free.
Yeah.
I got a Han Solo in Carbonite, like, 10-inch piggy bank. Added it to my cart, hit checkout, and then it's like, the item is no longer available. And then I couldn't get anything else to even get to my cart. Robin, during that day,
I
however,
got a Jawa bank.
she got like a 12-inch tall Jawa that's also a piggy bank, which is super cool, which is in our display case right now. So,
Ew.
I think it was like 1,000 points though.
yeah. It wasn't that
Are there
expensive.
piggies in it?
No. We'll have to find some piggies and chop them up and put them in there. And by that, I mean bacon bits. We're going to fill it with bacon bits. So, that's everything for Nintendo news. Fuck you, Nintendo. I'm not talking about your Nintendo Directs, because I'm so fucking mad at you. Don't even care. Because there was also nothing in there I really cared about. So,
No, Nintendo Direct kind of sucked, which was like, it's kind of the first one that wasn't good.
yeah, I'm really disappointed in Nintendo this week, so.
We talked about that when we did our Switch, checkup, that they needed to do something interesting, and I thought maybe they would take this opportunity to do something interesting. But unless they have another Nintendo Direct before Christmas, I don't really see them announcing anything, and thus Switch users are going to be in the dark after Odyssey. Hopefully that game is good and long and
Never ending like GTA.
keeps you entertained until next year.
Speaking of GTA 5, it was in the top 5 for game sales for the month of July.
And they have new
Woohoo,
content.
Good job.
Yeah, they keep releasing new content. They stay in the top fucking 10, crack
Still
the
doing
top
it.
5. And number 1 for the month of July was Splatoon 2.
Wow.
Which is shocking. It's
Wow.
just all the Switch users out there that desperately want a fucking video game to play.
I will say there were not any games there
was no blockbuster
They were competing
titles.
with a game that's 3 years old. That's
Yeah,
that's the.
but that's
the
a pretty
part
fucking awesome game, let's be honest. But
yeah, no real releases that month, but that makes sense.
yeah, but whatever. Fuck you, Nintendo. I'm not buying Splatoon 2, so suck it. Moving on into additional news. This one is sad. We talked about this. We kind of predicted it. Everyone saw the writing on the wall as soon as Mass Effect Andromeda did not do well. But BioWare has officially, as of August 21st, put an end to the Mass Effect franchise. They will not be developing anything new for Mass Effect. They do have that new game coming out, Anthem, which looks pretty sweet. I want to try it out. It looks like just a different version of Destiny mixed with Horizon Zero Dawn, And they did confirm that Andromeda's latest patch, update 1.10, is the final update for the game. So they're not even carrying support on the current title any further than it has been. So
Ashes to ashes, dust to dust.
That's crazy.
it's insane to think that when Mass Effect 2 came out, it was like the biggest gaming franchise on the fucking planet. And 3 games later, 2 games.
Yet we still can't kill Call of Duty.
Yeah, but that's because everyone still buys Call of Duty. So there's nothing you can do there. But
I blame the Mass
RIP.
Effect fans. Just kidding. That's
right, it's all their fault.
It's not them.
R.I.P. Mass Effect. You know what's funny, though? It kind of is Mass Effect fans' fault. Because Mass Effect 3 was supposed to be this really epic, great game. Then at the end, the storyline kind of
And
doesn't...
it was a good game.
Yeah, the storyline kind of takes a shit a little bit, and people were upset about it, but everyone complained so much. And then Andromeda hit, and the people that complained were the people that bought that game, and they drove other people away from buying the game, and they effectively killed their franchise because they couldn't support stuff it did wrong. So it's bizarre to me.
Yeah, it's like it's probably one of the biggest examples I've seen of people holding a game to such a high standard. Like the Batman series, for example, all those games have been great. Origins came out, wasn't as great, but it didn't do so poorly that they never went back to it. So I think that does speak to how tough they were, and I understand it's something you love dearly and you don't want to see it fucked up, but if you're gonna be that tough on them and then they have no reason to make more.
And I feel like the next gaming franchise that can possibly happen to is Assassin's Creed. Because everyone shit on Assassin's Creed after Unity. Syndicate came out, was a much better game, did not sell well because people were still mad about Unity. They took a year off at least, a full year off so that they could develop and kind of reboot and retool, and they have Origins coming out now. And if that comes out and it has one weird glitch where an eagle flies the wrong way that hits the internet, like, I can't tell you, every year Madden comes out, whether or not I get it, I ask my friend, hey, did you pick up Madden? And he'll say, no, have you seen all the glitches online? And I'm like, well, I've been playing it for 45 hours, and I've never seen a glitch. And my friend who's played it for 60 hours has seen it one time, and they act like the entire fucking game is broken. And it's a franchise that guy actually loves that he hasn't picked up in 2 years because he only watches the internet.
That is kind of the trouble of the internet, is you see that one problem, and it becomes something that everyone's concerned about, such as the dock scratching the screen of the Switch. Right. Like, that's not a common
All these
problem.
Switches are bending from being played for over 2 hours. Like, I did a fucking 24-hour stream the first day I had the Switch. No bending.
iPhones bending. Like, all these products. One person has one bad experience, and people start to worry if they're going to have that experience, and they're not really looking at the percentage.
The internet is slowly killing the internet.
It's true. And you know what? Fuck them. So, I was not a Mass Effect fan. I am sad to see it die, though. And I just find it ironic that the people who killed it are the people who are saddest about it dying. So,
yep.
Bizarre. But here's some good news moving away from the world of video games and into the world of film. Do you want to talk about this one? Because I think you're the one that dropped it into the article. Or into the Google Doc.
I did drop it in. Then I saw something else, though. Wasn't there another article about Wonder Woman floating around about...
James Cameron shitting on it?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a fucking prick. Oh, I will not see Avatars 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6, Mr. Cameron.
I don't even see the first one.
I say that and I watched Terminator 2 like 3 days ago. So,
so yeah, Wonder Woman has become the highest grossing domestic superhero origin film ever. It crossed the 404 million mark at the box office this past weekend. That surpassed the previous highest grossing origin blah 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 words, which was Spider-Man, the original Spider-Man.
Tobey Maguire
which
Spider-Man.
Which blows my mind.
They did mention that if you do adjust for inflation, it isn't. It's still second to Spider-Man because adjusting for inflation, it adds like another $140 million onto Spider-Man's total. But as far as actual dollar amount, it did pass it, which is fucking awesome. Great job, Wonder Woman.
Yeah, the only...
Woo, good job.
In like the recent releases, the only movie that had come close was Deadpool. Deadpool came within 40 million of hitting the Spider-Man mark. And came just shy. So go Wonder Woman, girl power. We girls can do anything.
I love that game. And you have a douche like James Cameron shitting on it. And when Wonder Woman passed Deadpool's theatrical domestic total, Ryan Reynolds tweeted at the movie, at the director, and at Gal Gadot, congratulations. Because he's a classy guy, and they probably all want to have sex with him because he's also super hot. But
I thought you were going to say they all want to have sex with Gal Gadot. I was like, it makes sense.
Yeah,
that true. Checks out.
That too.
Speaking of origin stories, go ahead.
Oh shit, she's passing it off to me.
I am.
I'm on a different article. Clearly.
Uh-oh.
I don't know anything about this one.
Oh, I just dropped this one in. That's why. Yeah, this one actually scares me because this is following on the news of the most successful DC Extended Universe movie being Wonder Woman. They announced that they're going to have an origin story movie for the Joker. And I just want to say, as a comic book fan, they did this in the comic books and they did it right. It's called The Killing Joke, and if you want to read an origin story for the Joker, go read that, because there's like 2 or 3 different origin stories, and during it, the Joker outright admits he doesn't remember who or what he was before he became the Joker, because he's so fucked up.
Wow.
And it's really cool, because you really get to see just how bad off the Joker is in his mental state, and to have an origin story that's not going to be based on The Killing Joke, and I don't know if it is or not, but there's nothing in this article that suggests it will be. It's like, I don't care that Todd Phillips, the guy who did 8 Mile and The Hangover, is directing it. I could give a shit. It'll be directed really well, but I'm really, really not excited to see a character that's not even supposed to have an origin story suddenly get an origin story, unless it involves him being Jason Todd, which is Batman's former sidekick, the Robin that was supposed to die, dying and coming back to life, and taking over as the person who supposedly killed him. That would be fucking sweet. I would love to see that, but I don't think they're going to do that. I think it's going to be shitty, but I think this is because...
be some made-up bullshit.
I think this is because that Jared Leto was so pissed they cut so much of him out of Suicide Squad when most of the movie was supposed to be about him in the first place, and the other bad guy was supposed to be the background bad guy that wound up becoming the main theatrical bad guy. And they're going to give him a chance to carry his own film. And everyone wants to see the Joker do well, but, like, you don't have to do an origin story. You can do a Batman movie from the Joker's fucking perspective. Like, imagine seeing a continuation of, like, Affleck's Batman movie from the Joker's perspective where, like, he's trying to kill Batman or something like that. But they're going to do an origin story? It just makes me so mad.
I don't think origin story makes any
It's
sense.
going to put another stain on DC's movie universe.
Yep.
Unless, of course, they just do 8 Mile, but just the Joker. That would be great. I
As
would
long
watch
as he
that.
has mom spaghetti on him. That's all I care about.
That's all that matters.
I would be interested. I would go see that.
So yeah, there's that. Kind of upset, but hey, let's hold out hope. I didn't think Heath Ledger would make a very good Joker until I started thinking about he did smile a lot in 10 Things I Hate About You, and he has an awkward smile, and that was the greatest casting of all time. So, right on. That's what we have for DCEU news.
I'll do the next one.
You want to do the next one? Awesome, go for it, bro.
Because it makes me super sad.
Yeah, it makes me sad but happy.
Yeah,
Sappy.
so sappy. Stranger Things creators confirmed there is a 3rd season.
Wow.
And
already renewed before the 2nd season even went on air.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
And they want the show to end on its 4th season.
They're not going to keep having terrible things happen to these kids, kind of how they put it.
Yeah.
I mean...
So they're just... this makes me think it's been renewed for a 4th season already. And that's how they sold it. Just buy these next 2 seasons from us and we'll be done. But kind of sad. The first season was really good. I'm expecting the 2nd season to be even better. And in the article, the main producer quotes that he doesn't want to call it season 2. He wants people to feel as if it's a movie sequel.
I will when I watch the whole thing.
Movie number 2 is always a little bit bigger.
Yeah, I think they're really going for as you can see in the trailer, there's the giant monster in the distance and not the single Demogorgon humanoid size creature that's evil.
Yeah, they're going for more of a kill the whole world instead of just a small little town.
Yeah, they're raising the stakes. And as far as it ending after 4 seasons, I like the idea of that simply because when you have a show that's doing really well, that gets renewed season to season, and a good example is Lost. The first 2 seasons were really good. After the 2nd season, they just had to rewrite. They had an idea for their ending. But then basically when you get renewed and you want to just keep milking it, you start writing filler that isn't very good, and you start changing the storyline for each character to extend it as far as you can before you eventually loop back around to your ending, which winds up not making any sense. And after season 3, Lost almost got canceled. And they were like, okay, we have a 4-season plan, and then we're ending the show. And they figured out how they were going to get back to it. But the damage that they did in season 3 had it really not make a whole lot of sense when they finally ended up looping back to the ending, which... Spoiler alert, I haven't even seen the ending, but it was purgatory all along, which everyone fucking thought. But it's just so annoying when they have to stretch a series out to make more money. And it just makes more sense to me, especially as someone who wants to do things creatively, to rather than get stuck in doing something successful, be as successful as possible, even if it means it's shorter, and then moving on to something new. So everyone in Stranger Things can go 4 seasons. It's one of the greatest series of all time when it ends, if they do it right. And then move on to something bigger and better and change your direction. And then on top of that, you have all that fuck you money where you can go and start your new project and not have to worry about people criticizing your show for going on too long. So as much as it sucks to only get 4 seasons of it, it probably will make the most sense.
As someone who...
it'll probably be 4 great seasons too.
As someone who watches Korean dramas where almost every single show is just 1 season from beginning to end, it's a good way to go because you don't want to drag out something too long. It just makes it...
That's how Spanish soap operas are, novellas too. They're 1 season. They typically run for 1 season, and then when they end, they're off air for a year, and then they come back and they bring in a lot of the same actors and then just run a new storyline. It doesn't always have continuity. In fact, most of the time it doesn't. It's a lot like American Horror Story seasons before they decided they're going to connect them all.
Yeah,
where they just kind of reboot and just tell you a new creepy story, but...
Honestly, it makes me sad, but I'd rather they make it shorter than it could be and make it make sense and have it be good the whole way through and then work on something else because it's exciting to think about what else they could do.
Yeah, I totally agree. Trying something new and giving their new show. It's easier for someone who makes movies. Like, you go and you watch Inception, you're like, oh my god, I really like that movie. Or
Yeah.
even if you didn't like it, then when Nolan's new movie comes out, you're like, oh, the new Christopher Nolan movie, I want to go see that. Rather than like, oh, Stranger Things Season 7, is it good again yet? You know, it's like Walking Dead.
Yeah.
It's like the most popular TV show on the planet. They do one thing that no one liked, and now no one watches it. But we're sitting around still talking about, like, should we go back and watch it? Like, at some point it's supposed to get really cool again. So, it makes sense. I don't know. So, moving on. This is some Nintendo news, also mixed with PS4 and also mixed with Xbox One. There's a game that is named R-E, like you would put in a reply in an email, Legend, that went on Kickstarter in July promising a co-op, monster-raising JRPG where you farm, fish, craft, and grow your village while caring for adorable creatures called Magnus. Shout out to Adventure Zone. Favorite character is Magnus. Not really. My favorite character is Taco.
I was going to say, everyone's favorite character is Taco.
He's so fucking funny. However, it is going to be cross-platform play for Nintendo Switch, PS4, and Xbox One, which sounds fucking awesome because that means that I can play, and I'm going to choose my Switch. If I can play with anyone that's at home playing on PS4 on their Xbox One, and I can play from anywhere, and I, have a battery to tether my fucking, phone, so when I'm running that goddamn app, my Switch doesn't die.
As long as they're all out on the same day also.
That's true. And hopefully it won't be more expensive on the Switch. That typically only happens in very rare occasions.
I doubt that.
I think Rime, R-I-M-E, was the game that came out and was $10 more expensive on the Switch. The game starts with players being washed ashore on the island of Vaca, which almost looks like vodka. As you build your village, developer Magnus Games says you can expect, quote, an all-encompassing RPG simulator hybrid with strong monster raising and multiplayer features. You can check out Kickstarter if you guys want to go on there and see what it's like. I know they already met their goal. I'm not sure if they're still collecting donations or anything like that.
600% past their goal. It's crazy.
It looks really fun. It looks really cool. And just the idea that you can do all cross-platform, which we just talked about, is super, super cool because we kind of shit on PS4 a little bit. And then we have another article a little bit later because we're right on point where everything is in the gaming industry. And I haven't listened to any of my gaming podcasts since I started listening to Adventure Zone, so I feel really good about that, guys.
Yeah. Do you think it stays cross-compatible with all, or do you think Sony backs out?
I think it stays cross-compatible with all because it's not a AAA title. I think if it was a AAA title or it had a huge following, then they'd be like, oh, well, maybe they'd consider pulling away from it. But just being a Kickstarter game, I think they want to see how well it does. And honestly, I think it makes more sense to release a game like this on all three consoles so developers can see where their game sells better. And if they see, like, holy shit, we sold 4 times as many units for PS4, then just make it for PS4. Or go and try and become a Sony-specific developer so you make money by being a Sony-specific developer from that exclusive contract you'd sign, and then you just make your game. Like, it makes more sense to me to have indies like this start out cross-platform.
The other thing is they're kind of in a unique position with the Kickstarter backing that they already have the money.
Yeah.
So they don't need to worry about how many they're going to sell. They're not putting their money into the project and hoping it sells and they get their money back. They've got the money to make it, so it doesn't matter if it doesn't sell like gangbusters on one of the consoles.
Robin nods.
Yeah, sorry.
She totally agrees. Right on. Moving on to another piece of additional news before we get to our main topic. This one blew me away. I was like, what the fuck is this? It did get announced at Gamescom 2017, which did suck this year, that Assassin's Creed is going to have a crossover with Final Fantasy 15.
I know.
It looks so fucking cool.
It's like it just shows like the assassin guy like crawling up on all the watchtowers, and then what's his name? The guy from Noctis? Noctis comes cruising into town. Noctis comes cruising into town with his fucking buddies in his car. And I'm just like, I hope I get to kill all the main characters from Final Fantasy 15.
I'm
That'd
so
be amazing.
confused.
I have no idea what it's about.
I don't understand.
Our Nerd Chills account on Facebook did tweet out the announcement trailer, which is just bizarre. But it's just a really, really weird crossover.
It's like Assassin's Festival or something.
Yeah.
That's what it's called.
They did announce...
I don't even know how this came about.
Yeah, I don't know how it's going to play out or why or who talked to who at a really drunk, coked out party. They're like, no, let's do it, man. The companies did announce that on August 30th, Final Fantasy 15 players will be given an Assassin's Creed outfit for Noctis if they have collected the Moogle Chocobo Carnival Events Dream Egg. The following day on August 31st, the free Assassin's Festival DLC will be made available for Final Fantasy 15.
So I have 4 days to find this egg.
Yes. The new content will transform the town of Lestalium, offering new activities, themed items, and features. Among that content will be another Assassin's Creed outfit, and the chance for Noctis to explore more in the style and use some of the abilities of an assassin from Ubisoft's franchise.
That's cool.
We'll be sure to have Robin's 90-second review of this.
Yeah. I downloaded it, and then I played it, and then I fell asleep, and then I watched Gagarian drama. The Korean drama was
Gagarian?
Gagarian. That's how you say it. I watched that show. So, cool. Moving on. Second to last piece of news. Actually, this is the last piece of additional news before we get to our main topic. Do you want to take this one, Charlie? I know you dropped this in, and I think this kind of, I don't know, bodes well to our previous episode's main topic.
Yeah, I guess there's a bunch of articles out this week suggesting that Microsoft is continuing. No, that's not a thing.
Continuously?
That's not continuing.
Oh,
We'll just say that to work on this cross-play idea with Sony. They're talking to Sony about making a plan for cross-play between consoles. I don't know if it's possible. Also, I just see that he says he told that to Games Reactor. I wonder if that's something I know what that
You say
is.
he. Is there a particular person from Microsoft that's quoted as saying this?
Let me see. Aaron Greenberg, Microsoft marketing manager, said it was absolutely in talks. We're talking to Sony about partnering with them on Minecraft and possibly other games in the future.
I feel like they're talking at Sony. And Sony's like, yeah, we'll get around to it.
I think they, I don't know. I don't know whether... I don't know what to think. I feel like they're probably either talking to them and Sony's just kind of like, nah, man, we're good. Or, then why would they say that? Why would they say they're talking with them? I don't understand.
I think they want to build the hype behind, getting people on board
and
with
then
it.
try to, force the hand of Sony. People want this.
Yeah, it's everyone listens to Nerd Chills. Everyone knows this is something everyone wants.
I mean, that's only what I can imagine, but I just don't... I don't know. But it's interesting. We were just talking about this, and hopefully they'll be able to come up with
And here we go.
some kind of solution.
We know the future.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like a
Predicted
fortune
it.
teller podcast, really. That'd be an awesome idea for a podcast. You have a fortune teller come on and just make up a bunch of bullshit and see what sticks. Cool.
Oh, so a weatherman?
What? Is it a podcast already?
No. Wait. But isn't that what the Weatherman does? Is that what you're saying?
No.
Or there's a podcast called The Weatherman?
No, I don't know. I don't know what it's called, but my buddy at work was telling me that there's a podcast where pretty much some dude just goes around explaining why, I don't know. It's a really weird concept, but he's basically explaining why weathermen are wrong when they do their predictions, and everything he predicts turns out right, and he proves all the weathermen wrong. It's really weird.
That is really weird.
That is
He's a weird weather guy, so he likes to watch it, and he was telling me about it one day, and I've never got around to doing it because the weather doesn't really
Interest you?
interest me.
It's probably because you're not of the age of 80.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although, big shout out to all our listeners in Texas. We actually do have listeners that download us from Texas. I hope you guys are
hopefully
staying
you guys
safe.
are all safe.
Yeah, and I hope all your family and friends are safe as well, because that stupid hurricane that wasn't supposed to be that powerful wound up getting to a Category 4 before it made fucking landfall.
Yeah.
Which is absolutely fucking crazy. I have family down there in
Hashtag devastating.
Brownsville, which is right on the border of the Gulf of Mexico, where the Mexican border meets it.
You would.
So, fuck you.
I just saw.
It didn't get hit as hard. But I know Corpus Christi and that area got fucking
right on
destroyed.
the beach.
Slam.
Yeah.
God bless you guys.
Yeah, 300,000 people without electricity. That's crazy.
That is crazy. But they're resilient folk in Texas.
Yes, they
Trust
are.
me.
Good old weather.
Yep. So, anyways, moving on to our main topic. This is a really good one. I'm actually kind of excited. I was going through the list to try and get my 3. Main topic is the games coming out this fall. We're all going to give 3 games that we're super excited for and why. I'm going to go ahead and start Crackdown 3, Red Dead Redemption 2, and Scalebound. I cannot wait for them to come out this fall. Oh, wait, fuck my life. Who's next?
It's kind of hard. I didn't realize how hard it was because so many things are next year.
Yeah, there are
That's
so many
sad.
things that are
I
coming
just
out
want
next year are
Kingdom
gone now.
Hearts, and that's not going to happen.
All right, fall of 2020, Robin wants Kingdom Hearts
So
3.
put those all in your back pocket for when we do this in another 6 months or so.
Yeah, you never said which fall.
Right?
Which fall?
2019.
Which fall?
Which fall? I was like, that sounds awesome. I'm gonna add that to my list. Yeah, but realistically, I don't know who to start with. Who wants to go first? Robin, you haven't talked in a little while, so we'll have you go first. Does that sound good?
Sure. Why not?
So a lot of us have more mainstream games, I think. I know I do. And Robin's aren't as mainstream. She's more of the indie person here. So what's on your top 3 and why?
The one that I'm really, really, really excited for is Tokyo Dark. It's a game by Cherry Mochi from the Square Enix collective that makes indie games and stuff. And Square Enix supports indie developers and stuff like that. But I kickstarted it a year ago or a year and a half ago or something.
What kind of game is it?
It's like a It's like a PC game where you're gonna click around you play a detective, so you're clicking around your environment to try and solve this dark mystery type thing. And it's supposed to be super creepy, and I didn't get into the beta. I was really sad.
Oh, you kickstarted it and you didn't get into the beta? That's
I didn't pay enough money.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
So I should have put more money into it. I just get a digital copy of the game, but that's fine.
Should have paid more.
But that comes out September 7th. It releases on Steam on September 7th.
Oh, wow, that's really soon.
Yeah, so I'm super excited. Finally, after getting updates once every month or something for the past year, it's finally, I'm excited. And then I guess the second one I'm excited for would be Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite.
cool.
Yeah, there's a bunch of new characters. You can play Ultron.
That's awesome.
Oh, shit.
I'm so
Is
excited.
Thanos in it?
I don't think so.
That'd be cool if he was a final boss and you get to use 6 characters. at
Dormammu?
once.
Dormammu's
in it?
I'm pretty sure.
That's way OP.
Yeah. Doctor Strange is in it. Captain America, Captain Marvel.
That's really
So
cool.
it'll be super cool. Super cool.
Nice. You said
That's in a
Capcom, right?
couple of
Marvel
weeks,
vs.
too.
Capcom.
Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite.
Is Mega Man in it?
Mega Man X is going to be in it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh
And
my
that's
God.
September 19th.
Yeah, that's really soon.
That is soon.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
And then Gwent, whenever it comes out.
Gwent is super fun. You can already play it right now during the free preview through your computer or through your Xbox.
Oh.
Ho, 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 ho.
Oh.
Right on. That's a solid
Nice
list.
plug, buddy.
Yeah. I don't think our topic's going to be that long, but I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
So.
That's all right.
All right, well, we'll do ladies first. We'll go backwards. So,
Charlie.
Charlie, what are your top 3?
So I'm going to go in order of release date, I guess. First of all, Cuphead. Cuphead is out on September 29th. I've talked a lot about this game. It's super adorable looking. I think it's going to be pretty unforgiving, so I'm a little worried about that.
Yeah.
But it was hand-drawn, and
It's crazy.
the music is original to it, and they've just put a lot of work into it. It looks adorable, and I can't wait.
There was a lot of gameplay footage from Gamescom, and it looks so freaking cool. But it looks so effing hard.
So, it's a side-scroller, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, side-scrolling platformer.
Platformer, yeah.
Okay, I remember talking shit about this. I think it was last episode. So.
Probably. I don't know.
I don't know, but it looks really good.
I think
And
it's
you
gonna
can
be
play
good.
with 2 players and stuff.
Oh my god, me and Robin.
You guys should stream on the Nerd Chills Twitch.
I'm
That'd be
down.
Cool. You down?
I'm down like a clown.
Yeah.
I'm down.
Right
Me
on.
too. So the second one is South Park. I'm really, really ready for South Park to come out. Speaking of delays, it's been delayed 2 or 3 times at least at this
Really?
point. Yeah, this is... And pretty much everyone I talk to is like, but is it really coming out?
Yeah, I was just going to say I'm waiting for the next delay
It's
to
Stick
drop.
of Truth
so.
all over
Yeah.
again.
When is the release date for it?
It's October 17th.
Okay.
So it's only about a month and a half away. They don't have a lot of time if they're going to delay it again. But I'm super excited about it. They're really putting a lot of work into the environments. Before, the environments were super detailed and they were straight from the show, which was cool, but there wasn't a lot of things you can do in those environments. So they're adding a whole system of interacting with the environment, and then they're also adding a huge crafting system and crafting skills and items you can craft to use during combat, and it looks a lot more in depth, and I'm really, really, really excited. Hopefully all those delays were worth it.
Yeah.
And they're going to do DLC this time around, and that's what I
Oh,
wanted
snap.
from
That is
Stick of
awesome.
Truth. It's one of the first few times that I want DLC.
Yeah. Well, Adam's cousin was talking about the first.
Yeah, my cousin, she doesn't play a whole lot of video games, and her husband bought Stick of Truth for her because she's a huge South Park fan. And he said he brought it home at 5? He said 5 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Gave it to her. She took it out. She started playing it. He woke up to go to work at 6 in the morning,
She was
and
still
she was
playing.
still playing it. And he was like,
Yeah.
"Have you slept yet?" And she was like, "Nope." So
And
as
then
soon as
they-
she finished
So
it,
good.
Yeah, they returned it that day.
yeah, he was able to return it because she beat it so quickly the next day, and get GameStop credit for it. I'm like, that is fucking insane. So I told her just so you know, Fractured But Whole comes out in a month and a half. She's like, what? I'm like, I just
like,
forfeited.
Don't tell me about it.
I was like, I just forfeited my Xbox for a few days, that's for sure.
Yeah, and it comes with a copy of Stick of Truth. So if anyone in your house hasn't
This
played
dude right
it,
here,
shame.
who has 2 sausage links for
Shame.
thumbs
Shame.
and hasn't played Stick of Truth all the way through. This guy.
Yeah, so
Good
you
job.
can finally correct that shit. So the next one, I struggled to come up with a third one. I honestly thought about putting the Horizon Zero Dawn DLC because I'm really excited about it.
That's fine.
That counts.
I don't even know. I'm not even sure when that's out. But anyways, Mario Odyssey is my third one.
I was hoping someone would do Mario Odyssey because I didn't do it. So
You know, I'm interested to see how it goes. I love Mario 64. I never played Super Mario Sunshine, so those are the 2 games that they're really trying to like call back to.
Yeah.
I played the demo of it at E3. It was fun. It's very similar to 64, so hopefully it will capture my imagination. No.
Imagination. I will say I haven't played a Mario since
World.
World.
Yeah, you
on
like secretly hate
SNES.
Mario.
It's like someone when I was young made me choose between Zelda and Mario. Like, which one do you like better? And they were an asshole about it. So I'm like, I guess I'll hate Mario forever now. But this is the first one that I look at and I'm like, I kind of want to play this one. What were you gonna say, Robin?
No, I thought we played the one that was on Wii.
We did, but we didn't really play too much. That was Wii U.
Oh.
Like,
Wii
we just
U
played it long enough to
world
pick each other up
or
and
land.
throw each other off the world. So that was fun, though.
That's all we did.
We got like 3 worlds in, so
So yeah, that's out October 27th, and
that's a big day.
Yeah, there's a million releases that day, and
Almost
I'm really
another
hoping
day.
that it will be worth playing and it will be entertaining enough. I really like the idea of there being like a city that's open world where you can talk to people and
They're humans
kinda just
walking
run around.
It's so creepy.
yeah, they're like weird shadow people. That's kind of creepy.
Yeah.
But I hope it'll be fun. I don't know.
Right?
They need to give me some reason to play that thing.
Yeah, I agree. I keep downloading like 16-bit games for my Switch, and it makes me mad every time I do it. That said, CJ, what is your 3, bro?
I'm up. Okay. It doesn't have to be any particular order. It's just 3 games I'm ready to play. Well, the first one, because I've been playing the beta and it's been really fun, will probably be the new Call of Duty, just so I have something to sink my multiplayer time into, because now that it's back to boots on the ground, it'll be a good game again.
I have watched more multiplayer footage for this one than any Call of Duty, just because it looks so much better than the... Why is that guy, like, floating on that wall? Like, what is that robot dog? Like, what the hell's going on?
And zombies is supposed to be scary.
It's definitely much better. So I'm excited for that one, because I always have these moments where it's like, I wish I just had something to play, because everything else sounds boring. And it used to just be I could just load up and play Call of Duty for a couple hours, and now that'll be back. So I'm happy about that. I'm super excited for the digital releases of Gold and Silver. On the 3DS.
Robin almost picked those, yeah.
Yeah.
Just because those are pretty classic games. I've played a bunch of them when I was a kid, so it'll be fun to go through. Hopefully they come out with the Crystal version, because that was the one I actually played. But the other 2 will suffice for now.
I wish.
And then my third one's kind of hard. I'd probably have to say Players Unknown Battlegrounds when it comes out for the Xbox One. Just because I have a bunch of friends who are going to be picking it up, and you'll be able to do private matches where you can start the zones smaller. So if you get a lobby of like 10, 15 friends and start the zone at a smaller area, there's going to be a lot of trash talking and a lot of team killing and alliances being formed and backstabbing, and it's just going to be a lot of fun. So
when is it supposed to be
those
out?
are probably my most 3 I'm excited
I
for.
think that's October or November.
Yeah.
Hang on, let me do
November,
a quick
actually.
check.
Yeah, I don't know when it's out.
I wish we could live in the UK and pick up the Pokemon Gold and Silver that's actually going to come in the box.
Players Unknown Battlegrounds, the Xbox game preview, because it's not even officially out yet for reals, it's still under like that preview mode, is going to be late 2017. It doesn't have a specific date,
Okay.
but it is supposed to be the Q4.
Did you see that they...
I think they said at Gamescom last week when they did like the huge invitation that they said late November.
Cool.
Totally random sidetrack, but did you see they finally announced like the final release of
Those would be the 3.
We Happy Few?
Yeah, I did see that.
Yeah, and it's going to be on PS4 and Xbox One.
Yep, that's super cool. Good for them.
Sorry,
It's
Brandon.
been in development forever. So
Yeah, and
just
it's
like
been in
Cuphead,
preview.
swear to God.
Yeah.
Right on. Those are solid 3, bro. I almost put PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds on mine, but I'm like, if I want to play that, there's so many first-person shooters that I look at where it's like, if I want to play it, I should really play it on keyboard and mouse because I do better that way. But so I have my 3. It wasn't too hard to pick them, but I will say that there wasn't a whole lot that I'm looking forward to that's coming out this year. One of which is Middle-earth: Shadow of War. Comes out October 10th. I think it looks amazing. I love the Nemesis system, and I love that you can go and take over different parts of the world and forge the way that you want your battle to go, and it just looks super, super cool. Check out some of the gameplay footage on that. I think it's going to be super awesome. I think it's going to be a dark horse for Game of the Year. There's a whole lot out right now that could possibly be Game of the Year that came out earlier, like Horizon Zero Dawn, like Breath of the Wild, but this game looks fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, there's not much buzz about it, but I'm sure it's going to be good. I think that's going to be like something that people don't get right away and then end up getting for Christmas or something like that, because not a lot of people are talking about it, but it looks amazing. It won a lot of Best of E3.
Yeah.
Like their booth was just covered
And
in Best of E3 stuff.
it comes out like at a really good time because like October is stacked with really good games, but October 10th is when Shadow of War comes out. The only other game that comes out that day is Age of Empires Definitive Edition for PC.
Oh yeah, no one's going to play that.
Yeah, it's like October 13th, which is a Friday the 13th. Evil Within 2 comes out, then the 17th, South Park comes out. So it will have its own week, basically all to itself.
Yeah.
Later on in the month of October is the second game on my list, and I think this might be the one I'm most excited for. It's Assassin's Creed Origins. I really like the Assassin's Creed franchise, and I really like the way, like, even though there's probably no narrative way to say why you're guiding an arrow when you shoot it, I don't give a shit because it looks awesome. And I'm really excited because I really think the way you build out your character looks similar to Witcher, which I fucking love to play. So, really excited for that. It comes out October 27th, which is the same day as Super Mario Odyssey and Wolfenstein 2, The New Colossus. That's just a huge day for video games. And my third one, I will say that I'll start playing it on October 6th. It's Star Wars Battlefront 2. October 6th is when the beta starts, and I am already enrolled and waiting. And then November 17th is when the game actually comes out, and I am fucking stoked. I love Battlefront, the first one. I know people are like, but there was not a lot of maps and no single player. And I'm like, I didn't care because I played those 6 maps repeatedly until my thumbs bled. Yeah. And I did it for both systems on PS4 and Xbox One. I'm one of the only people I know who had it for both systems and got to like rank 40 for both of them, just because I had different groups of friends I wanted to play with. So I really fucking love the Battlefront series. Mitch Dyer, who used to host IGN's podcast Unlocked, which is their Xbox podcast, he left IGN, and his mentor from college and him are writing the storyline for Battlefront 2 single player.
Oh, wow.
Which is like his dream gig. So I can't wait to play the single player. It takes place across all eras, but essentially is told from this perspective of being a agent of the Empire when the Death Star is destroyed at the end of Episode 6, and knowing that like there were decent people on both sides, and seeing that happen and being stranded on the moon of Endor like ruined her whole life, and her family was on the Death Star, some shit like that. And it looks super intense, and all the different heroes are in there. Darth Maul is going to be in there. Kylo Ren's going to be in there. So I'm really excited to play as all those characters as well.
It looks dope. They're adding so much stuff.
I kind of see the Battlefront 2. I see it as like Battlefront that came out 2 years ago. 2 years ago. It's like a teaser, and now we're going to get the real game.
Yeah, and they've done a lot of DLC for Battlefront 1 that actually, all the maps there were really, really fun to play. But this one looks to be releasing with about as much content, if not more, as Battlefront 1 has after all the DLC came out. And I'm super fucking excited. I played a little bit of it at E3. The multiplayer mode plays out a little bit differently, but not terribly differently, and it actually looks really fun. They're making changes to kind of streamline everything and how you do power-ups and things of that nature, and the different modes that you're going to have. Like, I play a lot of Walker Assault, which is essentially 2 giant AT-ATs or AT-ATs, or however you say it, are walking to destroy something, and you're either on the Empire side trying to defend them, or on the Rebel side trying to destroy them, and that is just super amazing good time. So I'm excited to see all the new modes that come out. There's a bunch more modes than that currently in Battlefront, but Battlefront 2 is going to boast even more. So
I was trying to think of like another way to expand upon this. Like, I'm trying to think of other questions I could ask about this subject. I don't know. I guess like we could talk about what we're most disappointed to see move into 2017 or
Red Dead
2018.
Redemption 2.
Yeah.
It was at the top of my list. I loved Red Dead, the first one. It was a bonding game for my father and I. I gave him my Xbox 360, and I bought Red Dead for him. He 100%ed it. He got every single achievement. Him and my uncle used to play it a ton. And I couldn't wait to get it and get it for my dad and play and be like, "What? Where are you? You know, we're in the storyline," because he just retired.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's mine for sure.
I think for me it would have to be Ni no Kuni. I really wanted that game, and it is now in January, so
Aw.
oh well, it'll be the first game I play next year.
That's true. That's not too far away.
Yeah.
CJ, if there's one game that got pushed that you're most disappointed to see get pushed, what would it be?
Oh man.
Crackdown. Just kidding. Oh.
Right, Crackdown 3.
Scale down.
I don't really know. There's not a lot of games that were pushed back that I'm like upset about. Like,
So we'll just go with games that were pushed back or canceled in the year of 2017 so far.
oh, guess I'll have to pick my good old buddy Scale Down.
I still hold out hope that somehow that game will come back.
I do.
It's just
It
there's
looks
so
so
much
cool.
developed for that game. Let's not beat this drum again. But
He fucking just. Oh man. Okay.
it's heart-wrenching. Robin, do you have a game that got pushed back that you're
Rest in
looking forward
peace.
to?
Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah,
That's-
I had a feeling that was going to be it.
They never really set a date for that, I will say, but it should have come out a while ago.
Should have come out like 10 fucking years ago.
Yeah, I agree. So, right on. I think that's pretty basic. We don't need to go too in-depth with this topic. I really want to get some conversation started with our user base, or I should say our listener base. Because you
yeah.
guys have been really active lately, and everyone that messaged me and let me know that episode 33 is a pile of dog shit because it only has 12 minutes of it, thank you for letting me know.
You're
Hopefully
a
you guys
pile of
get this full episode downloaded to you on time on Monday. And again, usually simultaneously you'll see the episode go up on our website when it goes up. And basically if you see it posted on the Facebook group, on the Twitter, or any of the other places that we post that we put the episode live, that means you should be able to go onto the website, nerdchills.net, and go to the podcast section, find this one, and go ahead and download it. So I think that's everything we got. CJ, Robin, Charlie, anything you guys can think of?
I'm good.
It was another good one.
Don't give up on us.
Hopefully next week there's going to be a bunch more news coming as we get later into the year. More sneak peeks of games, things like that. So buckle in.
Absolutely. And guys, go ahead and tweet at us at nerd_chills if you want to give us the 3 games you're most excited for and why, or even just one game you're excited for and why. If you want to speculate on what's underneath that sheet that Sony announced, the whole like mystery thing they're going to announce, go ahead and let us know what you think it's going to be. I personally think it's going to be a PlayStation 10 from the future. You can strap to your back and use it as a jetpack. You can go to the facebook.com/nerdchills podcast group and talk to us there. There's a lot of different things that you can do. You can email us at nerdchills@nerdchills.net, or email myself at maylum, MAYLUM, at nerdchills.net. Tweet at me at the Adam Diaz, or you can watch me stream games, if I ever do, on twitch.tv/maylum. I think that's just about it for me. CJ, where can the fine folks find you?
All those same lovely places, Twitch, Twitter, on our Facebook. You can email me. It's pretty much everything is Sacred Infinity. That's the tag that I use. And I will hopefully be streaming some of the World War II beta
Nice.
later. Once I can figure out how to get this PS4 to play nice with my HDMI switcher thing that I bought. So once I get that figured out, we'll be good to go.
Awesome. Charlie, where can the fine folks find you?
Other than right here, you can find me on Twitter at Charlie with an EY_NC as in Nerd Chills. Yeah, and please tell us what you're looking forward to this fall. I'm super interested to see, kind of get like a straw poll going of what people are most excited about.
Yeah, I agree. I might actually put up a poll on
Oh,
Twitter or
what
Facebook
games
or
should we
nerdchills.net and just list a fuck ton of games and see how many votes we get will really be the thing I'm paying attention to.
Yeah.
And secondarily, I'll be paying attention to what you guys want to play the most, I should say.
And then don't forget about our Patreon.
Yep, money,
Yep.
money, 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 money. Money!
Money.
Robin, where can the fine folks find you?
At all social media, really, at the Robin Grace.
Right on. And if they want to purchase something from your Etsy store, which is just blowing the fuck up, speaking of which, I need more pins. People at work
Oh, okay.
took my Nerd Chills pins from me because they want to strap into their bags. Where can they
Yes,
find you
I'm
if
out.
they want more pins or Nerd Chills pins or just nerdy
well,
stuff?
if they
made from them?
email Nerd Chills, the Nerdchills website. I don't know what the email is for you guys, but
nerdchills@nerdchills.net.
Yeah.
You said a minute ago.
oh yeah, you just email them and we can send out pins. And if you want any other things or custom things on Etsy, it's my shop's called Robin's Kawaii Corner with a K. Well, no, Kawaii spelled with a K, corner spelled with a C.
Crazy Kawaii Corner.
No, Robin's Kawaii Corner, and it's all one word.
Right on. Awesome.
Yeah.
So I think that's it for episode 34. Just want to say thank you to everyone who listens. We appreciate you guys more than words. And that's about it. So, Robin, if you want to go ahead and do the sign-off for us, we will end this episode.
I don't know what to say.
Dude, really? You've never listened to an
No, I
episode of
have.
Nerdchills?
Okay, take a chill pill, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Nailed it. See ya.
Bye.